Hey, welcome everyone to another edition of Park Streamers Hangouts. I am your host today with Theme Park Casual. My name is BarryPlace28. You can find me at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at BarryPlace28. And of course, you can find me on TikTok as well. And with me, obviously, Theme Park Casual. And tell everyone where you can find you.
Of course. Hey, kids. Welcome. You can find me on YouTube at Theme Park Casual, as well as on Twitter and Instagram, both at Theme Park Casual.
All right. Very good. So we have a lot of stuff to cover with all of you tonight. We're really looking forward to going over our first topic, and that is a brand new Frozen roller coaster at Hong Kong Disneyland. So this one is called Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs. And it looks really, really cool. We're going to show you a video in a moment. I think it's really neat how they've expanded the land and obviously added Arendelle. And I think it's a really, really cool idea or concept they came up with for this ride. So let's go ahead and show you what the ride actually looks like. And then we'll talk about it in a little more in detail. So give me just a moment to bring this up.
Exit left, please. 没错，请从左边离开。Hey, there you are. Fred and I were just talking about you. All good things, all good things. 可以喺度見到所有嘅朋友仔，係咪好開心咧？係啊，呢個下節節真係完美啦！ 希望大家嘅攝影之旅玩得開心，下次再見。呀！
And that is it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And that's that. Hope you didn't blink.
It's a great little coaster, but it goes super fast. I mean, this really reminds me of, Chip and Dale's Gadget Coaster over in Toontown. Yeah. Very cool, but you notice there's no music, no soundtrack on the ride whatsoever. It's just, that's it. I think it's a great concept. It's a great idea, but why the heck couldn't they make it a little bit longer? What do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of baffling only because of how well themed it is. It's a beautifully themed. It's got everything going for it, but then it's they timed it at like 57 seconds from leaving the station to pulling back into the station. That's crazy.
I know.
I mean, it looks like, decently fun, but you need more of it. That's the only thing. And I don't understand. It's just kind of baffling that they would go to that extent, give it the mountain and the theming and everything with it for such a short little ride. But, there's other coasters that are, right around the 57-second mark that have been released recently. And, well,
you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said they did a great job with theming. I think they spent all the money on that mountain, the theming, And they really just said, okay, we're just going to do something, really quick and family friendly. And that was it. So I realized this is part of that, what is it, $60 billion they're spending on, or is it 6 billion, whatever it is, Disney is spending on expansions. But that was probably just a drop in a bucket for that ride.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't looked into see the footprint, and what kind of space they had, if that was something. But I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money, spend a little bit extra and do a little bit of a dark ride the way they did with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. At least do something like that. It's a family coaster. There's nothing, treacherous about it, really, for the most part. I don't get it. And it's really I mean, if it was Japan, that probably would have been, plussed up with a dark ride portion at the very least, if not absolutely made, just a longer coaster. But very strange.
Now you're talking about two different things, because in Japan, they have unlimited money with that company that has the rights to Disney, whereas this is Disney doing their own thing and spending their own money. So and things are a little tight at Disney right now. So, but at the same time, they did a great job putting together. It's a great little coaster. Just wish it was a little bit longer. It's something I still would like to experience and check out. And maybe one of these days, I'll make it over there to Disneyland Hong Kong. But I know I was a little disappointed in the length. But other than that, the theming is amazing. Everything looks really cool. Walking, through the queue to the ride, and I think it was well put together, good concept, just needed to be a little bit longer.
It makes you think. It's like, are we lucky that they built Thunder Mountain, that we got Big Thunder in the 70s? Because if they tried to do that now, I don't know what we would get. Number one, it would be probably built on the edge of the berm, and you would only have the front facing, rock work.
Right.
So, but I love the look of it. It looks adorable. It just needs to be a longer ride.
Yeah, I think so too. But that's the way it goes. So let's go on to our next topic, and that is holidays at the theme parks. We're going to just focus on Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm. I know that Universal Studios is having some stuff, and so is SeaWorld, but we haven't experienced those yet. So I thought we'd talk about some of the things that we have experienced now that the Christmas holiday season has started at both Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm. So with that, Disneyland, I mean, they opened up first and got things going. Obviously, the park looks beautiful. I love the way it looks. I think, they always do a great job of kind of, theming the areas and making everything look really, really cool. Not just at Disneyland, but at DCA as well. I mean, I love walking down, Cars Land and seeing all the decorations and how they uniquely put things up with the hubcaps and ornaments and all that stuff. I mean, so they do a great job of the theming. One thing that they did finally announce, and thank you to my brother for throwing this at us to let us know, but the candy cane distribution schedule finally came out. So that is really cool. Looks like Disneyland Park, they're going to be doing reservations through the mobile order on December 3rd, 5th, 10th, 12th, 17th, 19th, and 24th. And then if you go to DCA, you can actually go to, I believe it's, what is it? Trolley Treats. So Candy Palace for Disneyland, Trolley Treats for DCA. And those dates are December 4th, 6th, 7th, no, 4th, 6th, 11th, 13th, 18th, 20th, and 25th. So that's great that they're going to be doing that candy cane purchase. Roll out to everyone. Last year, I don't know about you, Theme Park Casual, but I had a very difficult time even trying to get onto the app to reserve a candy cane. And I'm hoping this year that I will have the opportunity to do that. But were you able to do it at all?
No, and I'm going to be the wet blanket here. I'm going to give a proper critique, as this is my opinion. Disneyland, the reason these candy canes are a big deal is because they used to be made fresh. You'd get them right then and there, fresh made at the park. They are no
Right.
longer fresh made. So you're paying $20 for a good candy cane. I'm not going to say that it's a bad candy cane, but the specialness was that they were fresh made. So as someone who in the Inland Empire can visit Logan's Candy during the holidays, you can go watch them make the candy canes live right in front of you, get the whole spiel and the process and everything, and then get the warm pieces of candy cane right off the grill right there when they're making them. Got the whole plate steamed up, everything's going, they're stretching it, all of that. You can't, if you've never had that piece of fresh candy cane, the peppermint, oh my God, you don't know what you're missing. And that's what made those candy canes so special, was because they were extremely fresh and it just tastes different. So I'm going to be a candy cane snob and say, you guys can go wait in line, get your candy canes, pay your $20 or whatever it is for the candy cane. I'm going to head over to Logan's Candy sometime during the holidays and go through the process, help a mom and pop, privately owned small business, and enjoy some super fresh candy canes.
See, now you make me want to go to Logan, so which I probably will have to.
Yeah,
and I agree with you. It was great when they made them fresh, and now they're just passed out. So that is a bummer that you're not getting. It's not that they're not fresh; it's just that you're not getting the fresh baked that day, out to the public. So that is a bummer, and it does kind of make you go, do I really pay $20? And at Logan's, it's a lot cheaper and a lot fresher. But this is the happiest place on earth we're talking about. So
there's the math, and like I said, they're not bad candy canes. They are good candy canes, but the whole thing that made everybody go crazy for them was the freshly made aspect. And because there's such a high demand, they can't do the freshly made, because I think at the time they were only able to do like 100 candy canes a day. Yeah. So that's not going to cut.
That's why it was so hard to, Of course, you always get the gingerbread Mickey. Oh, no, you can't get that either. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, man. We don't want to even go there. But I will say that I really have enjoyed the holidays at Disneyland. The fireworks show is obviously amazing, especially if you go over to, I know that in front of the castle is a great place to see it, but to me, Small World is one of the best places to go check out that fireworks show. What do you think?
Yeah, I've always liked It's a Small World viewing area for almost any of the fireworks shows. I prefer to be as close to the explosions as I can. I just love that, being that close. But if you're dealing with the projections, It's a Small World has the best spot for projections, because not only is it a super clean canvas that it's projected on, most of the shows actually utilize the shapes on It's a Small World as part of the show that you don't get in other places. Like with Wondrous Journeys, during the opening sequence with the sketches, It's a Small World is turned into a sketch of It's a Small World, and then you've got the other stuff happening on top of it. So It's a Small World is definitely the best place if you want to check out the projections. And like I said, for me, it's just about as close as you can get to the explosions and still hear the music, because the music for Believe in Holiday Magic is perfect. I absolutely love this show. It's probably like in my top 3 of all the fireworks shows I've ever seen at Disney. Yep. And it just, there's something about it. It hits all the right notes, the shell choices, and, the way they paint with the fireworks and tell the story that way is just so fantastic. It bums me out that in Southern California, we're always stuck with, is it going to be too windy?
I know.
Because it is such a great show. And if somebody goes, it's their one day to go during that year, and they end up, canceling the show like they did the other night when I was there, it's heartbreaking for me to know that people won't get to see the show.
Yeah, I agree. But it is an amazing show, which is great, obviously.
Yeah, fantastic show. Fantastic. Like I said,
Yeah,
one of my
it
most favorite fireworks shows ever.
hmm The other show, obviously, the big one is World of Color, Seasons of, was it
Season
what's
of
it called
Light.
again? Season of Light. Thank you.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember there. Oh,
Yeah.
getting old. Just kidding. So Season of Light, that one was amazing. It was really, really good. I enjoyed seeing it last week. Have you seen it yet?
Yes, I did see it on the live stream, on my
Okay.
last live stream, and this is it was my first time seeing it. I hadn't watched any video of it or anything, and for the first time with a World of Color show, I was impressed.
hmm Yeah.
There were parts that had me just enthralled and smiling and amazed and hit all the perfect Christmas feels. So yeah, it's an impressive show.
hmm
I have my little critiques on it, but overall, I would say definitely one to see. It's one that I'm going to go back and see.
What are your critiques there?
My critiques, it's the same with all the World of Color shows. I don't like it when they downplay the fountains and go with projection, just a clip or some characters or whatever. Part of what makes World of Color so cool is the special effects and how they almost fool you with the light and water. There's parts where it's like, it looks like the fountains have gone off, but then there's nothing there. And then other times where it's like, you think nothing's there and all of a sudden the lights go on and the fountains are like spraying all over the place. And they've got the different styles of fountain, where it's the, clear stream of water. Other times it's, a spray. So it's creating a mist. That's the magic of World of Color. And I wish they would lean into it more. There was the sequence of Wizards in Winter. It was fantastic because there was almost no projections. It was almost all utilizing the lights and the fountains and the music. And it was like I said, I was enthralled and I was just, it was I think I put a sensory onslaught at that point, because you've got the sound and the lights and everything going off. And it was almost like a fireworks crescendo. It's like you start to lose any sense of what's around you because you're just so enthralled of what you're seeing. And I like I said, I really wish they would lean into that more and play with the special effects and let the designers of the show have at it with the special effects and how they can play with the lasers and the lights and the fountains and all of that.
Yeah, I would like to see a little more laser effects myself, but I don't have a problem with projections, but I get your point. Sometimes they don't use the projections to their full advantage, or they use it just to kind of mask what they're trying to do and to get maybe to segue to the next segment or something.
Yeah, and I get that. Like I said, it's a small critique because I did enjoy the show. This one was a very good show. It hit all the right Christmas feels.
It surprised me because usually World of Color is about 15 minutes long or something like that. It runs about 22 minutes long, I believe. Because after that, I was running over to the fireworks at Disneyland for my subscribers that night because they wanted to see both shows. And it was definitely worth catching, the first show. Usually the first show is like at 9 o'clock and the next one's at 10:15. So if you have the opportunity to catch it, definitely make sure you go to the parks and catch it this year. I know that it's only pretty much running, I think, I know it's running this week because of the holidays, but after that, it's pretty much just weekends, I believe, isn't it? That it's running.
World of Color?
Yeah. Is it every night?
I don't know. I thought it was every night. I thought fireworks were only on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to take a look at that now.
All right. So while he's looking that up, definitely check out those shows. They're amazing and great to see. Obviously, one of the great attractions to catch is Small World Holiday. It's a Small World Holiday is amazing. It's always great to see every single year. I love how they, have the lights, they pump in the smells, they, have so much to show and cover. And it's amazing what they're able to do in such a short period of time to get that, show building ready for the holidays. So definitely make sure that you check out It's a Small World Holiday as well.
By far my favorite overlay. I know most people like Haunted Mansion Holiday better, but It's a Small World for me is the best overlay that they've done.
Well, the great thing about the Haunted Mansion Holiday is that it covers both, Halloween
Right.
and Christmas, and you get to experience both through both holidays, which is awesome. But by the time that Halloween's over with, most people have experienced it and really love it, and so it's great to be able to see some of the other things around the park, like It's a Small World Holiday. So I agree that is a highlight and a great thing. I remember one year, and I can't remember what year it was, but they had all the decorations up until like March of the following year. At Disneyland, and it was amazing, and I was kind of shocked that they had them up for such a long period of time, but it was pretty cool when they did that, and people were able to still experience the Christmas version for several months after the holidays. So
yeah,
were you able to find that?
Yeah, I was going to say, from what I can tell, I was poking around on weekdays throughout December, and it looks like it's on every night, 2 shows.
Oh,
for World of Color.
Don't listen to Barry Place 28. You didn't know what he was talking about on that one there.
Yeah, I believe it's just the fireworks are going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday until we hit the Christmas week. I think Christmas week they go every night, possibly.
Right. All right. Very good.
But that doesn't matter because I'm blocked out those days.
I think we all are, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
That hurts right there. So speaking of which, what else do you like to cover during the holidays at the theme parks? They've got the food over at DCA as well that you can experience.
Yeah, I need to get back over to DCA and really look at the menu, because I know there were a couple of things when I did a quick glance that I wanted to try. One of them being the holiday turkey empanada. So I haven't heard any reviews on that one in particular. So I'm determined to try that one. I tend to miss out on some of the food items because I'm either not going to be eating while I'm there, or I end up, going with my regular stuff and, going with my usual ice cream or something. So I do want to try that, but I do need to tell everybody, if you didn't see my live stream, you've got to try the espresso chip sundae at Golden Horseshoe. That thing is to die for. It is fantastic. If you like coffee ice cream, you are going to be over the moon with that sundae. It is insane how good it is. It's one of those ones where now I'm going to be sad when I find out that it's gone. It is that good. I mean, it's like I finished it and I was like, I can't wait to have it again.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
So yeah.
So check out the espresso chip ice cream. Is that what it's called?
Espresso chip sundae.
Sunday. Oh, Sunday.
Yeah. So it's espresso. It's like
Horseshoe.
Espresso, coffee ice cream with little dark chocolate shavings in it. And then they put, I want to say it's cookie butter, drizzle over it, whipped cream, and then they like crumble biscotti cookies on it. So it's absolutely fantastic. Even better than the peach cobbler sundae that they did.
Yeah. Manny's saying, tell Bob the reason why they stayed until March is because it started late due to the drainage issues they were having that year. Yeah. So Tam T also says, hey, they got a tamale. Yeah, they've got a lot of food there. So one of the great things is you can actually pick up a little passport. I have it, but it's in my other room at the moment. You can actually get that passport. It has all the food on there and all the different locations. And there's little stamps you can get stamped for each of those food items you want to try in those locations. But yeah, there's a lot to try. What were you going to say?
I was going to ask the passport. Do you get something when you complete the stamps? Do they give you like a sticker? Is there like a final kind of prize for completing?
I don't remember. I picked up the passport. I showed it on my live stream. I put it in my pocket and I brought it home. So I haven't had a chance to look at it. And to be honest with you, I have not had a chance to try any of the foods over there. So maybe my next live stream we'll be able to, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I've got to go look because I did a quick glance. I mean, there's like, I don't even know. There's probably like 30, 40 items that they've got for the Festival of Holidays. It's so crazy how many different things they put out for the festivals. But like I said, I need to look it over because I remember thinking there was like at least 3 or 4 items that I was like, okay, I think I'm willing to try those. So I might have to get the Sip and Savor lanyard and go for that.
Very good. We're getting a lot of comments in the comments section regarding how much everyone loves Small World Holiday, and it sounds like some people like that Sunday. So
yeah. So far, everybody that I've heard that has gotten it has thought it was a fantastic Sunday. I think Jen's Crochet and Donnyland, they got it. Cordy got it. Pops actually had it the other night. I think it was Saturday night he got it, and I was in the chat, and he's like, "Theme Park Casual, how come you didn't tell me about this?" I see how it is. And so yeah, it's a fantastic Sunday. I cannot get over how good it is.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Anything else you like during the holidays at the 2 parks over there?
Well, we didn't even talk about the Christmas Fantasy Parade, which
what you want to talk about that?
Some people think it's kind of run its course and it's time for an update. I love it still. I think they could probably, switch out a couple of the floats here and there, or, switch out characters, move them around, whatever. But there's just something about that parade that, it's one of those nostalgia things for me, even though it's not a very old parade. It's like it wasn't the one that was around when I was a kid or anything like that. But I there's just something about it that it just hits the right notes. You know what I mean? It gives you the Christmas feel. It's upbeat. It's uplifting. It makes everybody excited and happy by the end of it. And that's what you want. So I love that parade.
I love it too. I know a lot of people are like, that song just repeats over and over and over again. And it does, unlike, other parades where you have different versions of the same song. It's just the same song that repeats over and over and over. And it's just a short chorus, not very long. But personally, I love it. The only thing I noticed, and you and I experienced this year, is that when we saw it, there was a big gap in between each of the sections of the parade, which kind of shocked me. I know that they're trying to keep some of that so that people can cross through, but it seemed like they were a little bit longer than they usually are. But I personally like it, and I still love it. I agree with you. They could definitely upgrade the parade, maybe have some new costumes, or maybe have some new floats or something like that. But they don't need to change a lot. I mean, especially floats like, the Toy Story float, seeing Buzz Lightyear on the front, Woody on the back, and then you got the, packages that are running through the machine and whatnot. It's really, really cool. I think those are really neat. And then of course you've got, the bakers, and you've got the, snowmen out there, and there's just so many great scenes. And of course, one of my favorites is just the dancing reindeer. I don't know why, but
I kind of wish they would go back to that old cartoony, silly style of reindeer look. The new ones, I get it. It's a much more advanced costume, but the silly looking reindeer was so classic. I mean, they even made the zipper for it.
That's true.
So that tells you, that there is a little bit of the nostalgia there for those characters. And even the snowmen and the gingerbread people, they've changed their costumes over the years, I get it. There's just something, when you look back and you see the old style, you're like, oh yeah, that's what I remember. But like Jetta says, the watching is voluntary. So if you don't like the parade, go do something else and let us enjoy our parade.
That is true. That is very, very true. All right. Is there anything else about Disneyland you want to cover for the Christmas holidays?
Our castle wins Christmas. I'll just say that.
I think so too. I know it's not the biggest. I know it's not the tallest, all that stuff, but man, it just sparkles, looks great. I love the way, they decorate it every single year. To me, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. At night, you can't beat our castle, no matter what projections they use in Disney World. Our castle just I mean, it's for me, it's like, it's not even close. Sometimes you can get into a debate as to, okay, well, this one and maybe this one, not even close. Disneyland, Sleeping Beauty Castle just totally wins Christmas.
Yep. I agree. Well, let's cover another theme park, and that would be Knott's Merry Farm. Actually, because we've already covered Disneyland's website for Christmas. That's why I didn't bring that one up. But let's go ahead and share the one for Knott's Merry Farm. So I think one of the biggest things that you can see here, and these are the shows here. You got Snoopy's Night Before Christmas Ice Show, and last year, I think I was watching your channel at the time when you were at Knott's Merry Farm, and you covered it, and it was the first time they had revamped the show in a long time, and it was amazing. And I was really curious as to how it was going to be this year, because I was doing a live stream on Sunday, and or yesterday, I guess it was, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be the same exact show. Were they going to mix it up and change it up a little bit? And they did. There was a lot of similar elements. There were some similar scenes, but they definitely changed it up a little bit. Had some new costumes. The one thing that I noticed is that they definitely tried to incorporate the woman who was, doing all the different tricks on like the Cirque du Soleil type tricks. What do they call that? Where they're on the
aerialist.
The aerialist. There we go. So she's on the cube. She's on a candy cane, rod, and then she's on the actual cloth itself.
Right.
But that is pretty amazing, and I think that they did a great job of trying to add a little bit more of that, because people love that part of the show so much.
Yeah, it really is one of the highlights of the show. That it's crazy because it takes such a it's actually a very dangerous looking piece of the show, and that's, I think, part of what makes it so great, is that there is that element of danger. It's the same thing, when they do the big ice skating tricks, when you see the guys, trying to get around 4 times on the spin in the air, and then they land it, and you're just like, oh my God, they did it, or when there's the one at the end, he's got the girl by her ankles, and he's swinging and spinning, and she's like getting like inches away from the ice, and you're just like, oh my God, one wrong move and this is going to be a disaster. Exactly. And so when you've got the aerialist doing that, and every time it's absolutely breathtaking the way the crowd gets into it. I love how they do that. And when I saw it just the other day, the attendants working in the theater, they were helping to get the crowd hyped, and I was like, okay, that's good. I love that the other employees are cheering on their the people on the stage and helping to get the crowd into it for them, because it really helps the whole vibe when everybody's hooting and hollering and cheering, and because it takes a ton of talent to do what they're doing on the stage. I can't ice skate, so I'm impressed just them going around in circles.
Yeah. Well, it's great. And in fact, even in the beginning, before the show starts, you have Linus and Charlie Brown out there, getting people, kind of energetic and clapping and getting ready for the show. The other cool thing is they actually talk about the Snoopy show on ice and how it started from the beginning. Right. And how, it's gone through, the last 4 decades. And really, this, just to let everyone know, I mean, it's called Snoopy's Night Before Christmas because it's just a retelling of the classic poem of A Visit from St. Nicholas, just reimagined with Peanuts. So they obviously do a great job of doing that. And I think the other cool thing is that not only is this they say it's a half-hour show, it actually ran almost 35 minutes for me yesterday, which to me was fine because I really enjoyed watching it. And I know that a lot of my subscribers enjoyed it as well. But not only did they take the time to tell this reimagining, but then I think one of the big things every year is Linus coming out and talking about the true meaning of Christmas, which is really great. And then obviously they have the grand finale, which is always really cool, with the doves falling or flying in and onto the stage, which is really amazing. So they do some really great things. If you haven't seen the show, definitely check it out. I think it's the top show to see at Knott's Merry Farm. And it's something that just is amazing to watch. So
yeah, it's another one of those ones where they hit all the right notes. They bring you up, they give you the energetic, the dancing, and the bombastic kind of Christmas stuff, and then they also give you, like you said, Linus, reading from Luke, and there's just something about that, child's voice telling that story that just makes it that much more amazing. And then they give you the doves, and then obviously wrap it up with the big show-stopping number and everything. And it's a perfectly done show, and it really shows how much they care about these shows. And like you said, they give you the history of it, and how the ice show was integral to get the Peanuts characters as part of the park.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's definitely, like you said, the show to not miss when you go to Knott's Merry Farm.
So in case you haven't gone and you're planning on going, this is at the Walter Knott Theater. I would recommend that you get there and get in line at least an hour to 45 minutes before the show starts, no less than 45 minutes before the show starts, just so you can get a fairly decent seat.
Yeah.
I got there 45 minutes before it started, and I was a little worried because I was one of the last groups to actually go into the theater. But thankfully, there was still plenty of room. Even though they had stopped the line, they actually let more people come in because they had a lot more seats. But I actually found a really good seat where I was sitting, but at least get there at least an hour to 45 minutes before the show starts, just so you can get in and get a really good seat in the theater. So
yeah, and the first like 4 or 5 rows down near the stage, you'll be inside the snowfall area if you have kids, so that they don't have to go running down, because I saw a bunch of kids when the snowfall started. They started coming down from the higher seats and come running down just to get into the snowfall. So if you want to just be part of it and not have your kids crying that they want to get down there, just sit in the first 4 or 5 rows.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So some of the other shows they have are Home for the Holidays, which is on the Calico Mine stage. This is a really cool one because it basically takes place, back in the old days with a family, and I believe they're called. What's the family's name again? I'm trying to remember. What was the family's name? I just saw it yesterday. Hello.
Gosh, I can't remember their name.
I can't remember either. But anyhow, so you get to spend the holidays with this family, and it's all about how they celebrate Christmas with their friends and family. Yeah. And there's a lot of dancing, a lot of singing. The home opens up, and so you can see what's happening inside. Santa Claus shows up, and they sing, a lot of holiday tunes, as I mentioned here, like There's No Place Like Home for the Holidays, Sleigh Ride, Jingle Bells, Here We Come a Caroling, and many, many more. So it's really, really cool because they really take you into the old days of spending time as a family during the Christmas season and what it's like to be with this family one night. So I thought it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, this is like the number 2 show at Knott's. I'd almost put it at number 1, but you can't beat Snoopy on ice skates. So, but this one, it's a holiday juggernaut because I'm exhausted at the end of this show just from watching them. It's so high energy. There's so much dancing. It is just, it goes and goes and goes and goes. It's amazing how well done this show is. I mean, it's nearly Broadway quality. I mean, that's how big it feels. It's got probably close to 20 performers on the stage.
Oh, at least
something like that. Like you said, the whole, the big, large set piece of the house moves and opens up, mid show right in front of you. It's one of those ones where it's like, it's hard to believe that they're doing this at a theme park and not charging you extra to watch it. You know what I mean? It's that good of a show. And, again, hits all the right notes, gives you the Christmas feels. You're just completely pumped and ready for Christmas at the end of the show. And that's like I said, it's exactly what you want. You want everybody leaving on that high where it's like, okay, let's get the holidays going. I am so in the mood. Let's go do, something Christmassy now,
I will say definitely get to the stage as soon as you can, like within, I'd say 15, 20 minutes before the show starts. The reason being is that it got packed fast. I did not expect it to get so packed. And when I got over there, it literally was within, I'd say, 5 minutes of it starting or so. And normally there's plenty of tables and the people sitting at tables can see. However, they had it set up so that if you sat in the middle at a table, you were fine. If you sat on the far sides, the left or right side, they had people and strollers lined up with ropes. I'm not sure whose bright idea that one was, but unfortunately, it didn't look very good, aesthetically. Plus, a lot of people who were sitting at tables are getting upset because people were blocking them who were standing up next to them. So definitely try to get a section in the middle and try to get there as early as possible. Obviously, close to the stage as possible. They do have, snow effects as well, which is amazing and a lot of fun. And they blow out a lot of snow, which is great. But you want to make sure that you get there, with enough time to spare. Because if you don't,
if you can see the second show, you've got a better shot at getting a good seat if you see the second show. The first show is packed every single time. Every single time, it's just jam packed. It's going to be standing room. And if you don't get there early enough, like Bob said, you're going to be either stuck behind somebody or, on the very outskirts trying to watch, between people. So if you can see the second show, you're probably better off to, get there a little bit later and still get a great seat.
Yeah. So one of the things I tried to do yesterday on my live stream was go straight from the Snoopy ice show straight over to the Birdcage Theater so that we could see Calico Christmas Carol or The Gift of the Magi 19, or I always keep saying that 19. It's 1885, not 1985. It's not Back to the Future. And so I rushed over there, but because Snoopy ended a little late, when I got there, there was a line out the door and they were slowly trickling people in. But by the time they let a few more people in, it was completely packed and they, told everyone that, they couldn't let anyone else in. So definitely give yourself some time to get to those other shows. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to see The Gift of the Magi 1885 yesterday. And that's something I'm hoping I can cover next time I go back to Knott's Berry Farm. That is a new classic Christmas tale that they created at Knott's Berry Farm. You also have a Calico Christmas Carol, which is obviously a classic take on the tale of A Christmas Carol. And so that's a really good one to see. I really enjoy them. They're only 15-minute shows, so they're really, really quick, but they're at the Birdcage Theater, and the theater's not super huge, right? So definitely try to get there, a little early. You don't have to get there as early as some of these other shows like Home for the Holidays or Snoopy's, Night Before Christmas ice show. But you definitely want to try to get there a little early so that you can catch them. The good news is I think they've got about 5 or 6 shows, and they take turns. So I believe The Gift of the Magi 1885 is the first one, and then they show a Calico Christmas Carol. So if you look at the show times, they'll show you what they are on the building. You can also find them in the app. Unfortunately, in the app, it doesn't tell you which one is playing at the times. It just shows you that, what the times are. And but definitely try to check out the one. And again, they're only 15 minutes long.
Yeah, I believe they alternate, and I think there's 5 shows a day usually.
Right.
At least that's how it was on Saturday. And they start with Gift of the Magi, and then they alternate through the day. So you'll get Gift of the Magi, Christmas Carol, Gift of the Magi, Christmas Carol, Gift of the Magi. Yep. So if you can kind of figure out which, slot you're in, you'll hopefully be able to get the one you want. So I got to see Gift of the Magi. You got to see Christmas Carol. So obviously on our next streams, we're going to flip flop, and I'll see Christmas Carol, and you'll have to go see Gift of the Magi.
I didn't get to see either one, but I've seen a
Oh, you didn't get to see either one? No, I thought you got in for one of them.
No, I was trying to get into one of them, but unfortunately, the Snoopy on Ice show ended a little too late. And then by the time I kind of had a set schedule, I mean, after that, I think I was trying to do that. I didn't get to that, so I kind of walked around. We caught the sleigh bells, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. I caught the Christmas tree lighting, caught the snow and glow, caught the Native American dancer the Home for the Holidays, and then we cut it because Maria had joined me at the park, and so we wanted to enjoy the park, before it closed, and check out a few things. So that's why we ended the stream. But when I do go back, because we'll be covering, both myself and Danny will be covering, the Knott's Merry Farm probably throughout December. So you'll be able to see those shows if you come and watch our streams.
Yeah. So I was going to say, are we moving on to the sleigh bells and everything? But one thing I do want to bring up, the fact that you said that you were on a set schedule. I had the same thing going on Saturday. I had all of my shows and everything in order that I needed to go, and kind of giving myself just a little bit of buffer to be able to hit them. And I still didn't get to see all of them. Like I said, I still need to go back and see Christmas Carol. We didn't get to see the Bluegrass Duo. We didn't get to see the carolers, the Calico
they were
carolers.
hard to find because they're just kind of out and about.
Yeah, they perform in different places, so you got to kind of search for them. But the app said that they were supposed to be performing at noon, and that's when I was starting. I was trying to find them. I couldn't find them. I'm like wandering over Ghost Town. But that just goes to show just how much entertainment Knott's has going on, that even when you're somebody who knows the park, knows the schedule, you still can't get it all in if you're going boom, 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 boom from one to the next. So that tells you just how much entertainment you have at Knott's, and why a pass for Knott's at $99 right now is a heck of a deal if you can get out to the park a few times. So I'll get off my little soapbox and stop shilling for Knott's right now. But
well, the next one I was going to cover is actually the Snow and Glow, which, to be honest with you, I think this is probably my favorite thing at Knott's Merry Farm. Don't get me wrong. The shows for, Snoopy and Home for the Holidays are definitely things you need to see. This is not really a show. This is more of a really cool event, right? It lasts a little less than 5 minutes. But every night during Knott's Merry Farm, once the sun goes down, they do it every hour, usually at 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, etc. And they do it in Ghost Town. And basically, they have a narrator that comes on and talks about the holidays and what they mean, and then they play this song from Home Alone, which is iconic and classic. And then once they do that, or as they're doing that, they have the snow come out, and then after the snow comes out, they do a light show. We're actually going to show it to you here in a moment on YouTube, so you can kind of see what it looks like. But it is really cool and really amazing to me. And I've said this on my live streams, but Disney does a great job of hosting the holidays and doing the snowfall and everything like that. Knott's does it better, I think. They just really pull at the heartstrings to make you feel that holiday spirit. You almost, get a tear in your eye just, looking at everything and watching, the moment. And it's not just you, it's everyone around you that is getting into the excitement and the emotion. And you hear them talking, and, it's a magical moment. And then, of course, there's so much snow, or should we say soap, that's being blown out onto everyone. It's almost, I'd say it's probably twice as much as what Disney, sends out. So do you want to talk about it real quick before we show the video?
No, show the video, and then I'll give my comments after. We're going to have to show it without the music because the music is copyrighted, and it could get the stream blocked. So we're just going to show it to you without the music. I think you could probably play the music after, once they're doing the actual light show. You could probably play that music. I think it's just the initial snowfall music that is the copyrighted.
Okay, let's see here. So this is from Theme Park Casual stream. We're going to show his, but again, we're not going to play with the sound. This is when the narrator actually starts talking and about the holidays. So Theme Park Casual had just come out of, I think, were you at the blacksmith, I think? Remember.
Yeah, I think this was the first one of the. No, this was the second one. So this is
Second one.
the 7:30 showing that we did.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think I was just kind of hanging out because we had just finished Home for the Holidays. I went and grabbed a snack, and we were wrapping up the night with this the Snow and Glow. So
So the cool thing is
we're
they
right over by
have
the right over by the blacksmith.
right. So they have these lanterns up above. They go out as the snow starts falling. You can see all the snow that's kicking out. There's a lot of snow that they kick.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, for us yesterday, the wind was blowing north. So some of the snow was blowing north, and we didn't get to see, that snow from those
Mhm.
buildings. And then on the other side, the snow was blowing. But look at that. I mean, there's snow all over the place, getting in people's hair, on their clothes. But it's still really, really magical, especially when you are there in the midst. And I wish
Yeah,
we could
look at
play the
that.
sound for you. But yeah, it's a snow flurry is what it is.
Yeah.
It's so much that sometimes it's covering the ground and it looks like there's
Yeah.
snow on the ground, and it's just a slurry of snow. So right after this part is where they light everything up, and then they're going to start doing the light show. So you'll notice that they do it to the beat of the music. And let's see. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn the music on.
Yeah. And there you
Very
have
cool.
it. And it's so. Here's the thing. What I like about it is it feels a little more, and Orange Grove says it's way more immersive than Disneyland feels for some reason. Even though you've got Main Street that is, somewhat of a tight space, Ghost Town has the trees and everything kind of covering over it. So it feels even more condensed, more compact. And they blow out, it seems like, so much snow. And I think the part that is hard to see, and unfortunately, this was, like I said, this was, I think, the third of the Snow and Glows for the evening, because they do 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. So this was the third one. If you catch the first one, you got all the little kids there, and they're all experiencing it for the first time that day. And the giggles, the squeals, the laughing at mom and dad who have the snow all up in their hair and all over their shoulders and everything, and the kids running around. That's the part that makes it so incredible. And by the end of it, everybody is laughing and having so much fun because, like I said, there's just so much of that Snope going. I mean, when I was there for the first one, I was directly under one of those, and it was blowing just off of me. So it was like the people that were just off to my left were just covered in the Snope, because you guys saw the big chunks that were flying down from that. And the way they do it at Knott's is they give you the emotional, mellow stuff and get you all, warm and fuzzy. And then they play an upbeat song like you heard with the jingle bells right there. And so everybody is laughing, and you don't feel like you have to be quiet. You feel like it's like starting to get more raucous, and more of a party atmosphere, and it ends like that. So everybody is laughing and giggling, and it's the kind of thing where literally you're like laughing with other families. It's like you look at somebody and, you're laughing at them because they've got Snope all over them, but you don't realize that you've got Snope all over you, and they're laughing right back at you because you've got this big pile of white stuff on your head. And it's just so much fun. And that's the kind of thing that, like I said, it brings the whole community that's out there, all the guests together, having fun at the same time, doing it all in this fun, upbeat atmosphere. And, I kind of wish Disney would kind of switch theirs over to that, because they do it with the real mellow and, the schmaltzy and the feels and the, the warm fuzzies, if you will, which is nice. But I think that upbeat is where it's at for the crowds like that. It just, there's something about it that just has that atmosphere of just having a blast with everyone around you. Like I said, you can laugh at people and with people, you can giggle with the kids, and it's just so much fun.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you with trying to catch the first show. So we caught the first show. It was packed. I mean, you could see there in that video that we were showing, it was a later one. So it wasn't packed, but there was still a lot of people on the street. Mm-hmm. But something about seeing all the families and the kids, like Jen's Crochet was just mentioning, seeing all that put together, I mean, it just pulls at that heartstrings and makes you feel warm inside, and it makes you feel like you're really ready for the holidays. And then, of course, they're playing the Christmas music, and they've got the Home Alone music, which is amazing to listen to too. So all of that to me is just awesome. And that's why I almost feel that Knott's Merry Farm does a better job with Ghost Town's Snow and Glow than Disney. And again, like you said, Disney does everything right too. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's just a little more magical at Knott's Merry Farm. Now, I will tell you, I did have the opportunity to go back to Disneyland last night because I forgot to cancel my reservation. So I had to go into the park real quick and go home. And when I walked in, they on Main Street, they automatically, it was towards the end of the night, and they just started doing the snow. And it was kind of cool because they just did it, without anyone expecting it. So I think that when they do things like that, it's great as well. So I'm not knocking Disneyland at all. I just think that the way that Knott's Merry Farm does it is just really, really fun, cool, amazing, and just gets you into the holiday spirit.
Yeah. And you can see Vash mentions it, that, following the fireworks, it probably does need to end on that emotional, kind of that mellow tone, just because the fireworks are so literally explosive.
Right.
So that works. But like you said, they should have it where there's a more upbeat kind of feel with the Snope, maybe, either, do it an hour before the fireworks, do the Snope with an upbeat, presentation. But it's tough because that the Snope after the fireworks is kind of that finale. That's the signature ending of the fireworks. So if you do Snope before, it kind of takes away from that ending of the fireworks. And if you do it after, it's kind of late, most of the kids are kind of gone. So it kind of loses that, that wonder aspect of it. So it's a tough one for Disney because of where they've placed that snowfall with the fireworks. It would make it a little difficult because you're either going to take away from that amazing little finale. And I don't know, do they do the Snope at other times? I'm trying to think if they do it because I know they do the castle lighting. They do a couple of those a night. And I don't know if I don't think they do Snope with that, do they?
No, I don't remember then, but when I was there last night, let me look at my video real quick because I did a quick video of the snowfall. But it was at 11:29 p.m. last night when they did it. So it caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting it, and I don't remember them doing that previously. And typically when you and I are doing our live streams, we're walking around the park, so we don't always get to see it on Main Street or the other areas. But it just caught me off guard and caught me by surprise. And it caught a lot of people off by surprise, because a lot of people were walking out, heading home. Some people were actually taking pictures by the Christmas tree, obviously. And so everyone's like, what's going on? And so that was nice that they actually did that, because it was something that we weren't expecting. So,
yeah. Like I said, I know they do the castle lighting a couple of times, but I can't remember if they add Snope to that, or if the Snope is strictly, after fireworks.
Maybe they've taken a cue from Knott's Merry Farm and decided, hey, we're going to do it, every so often on intervals as well. So, but regardless, it was great that they did it, and I'm glad they did. In fact, that's why I did the video, so I could make a short out of it and put it on my channel.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's kind of nice to do it toward the end of the night like that, because then you've got everybody. It's usually the older crowd, the adults that are staying that late for the most part. There's some kids, obviously. But
what are you saying about older, man? I'm kidding.
We're not kids. That's what I'm saying. But but it's nice because then you've got you could have a nice little romantic moment. That's with slightly smaller crowds with the snow, and you can get your possibly your Christmas card photos done with that.
Yep, absolutely. So real quick, we've got a few other things covered here. So we have the Sleigh Bells, and the Sleigh Bells actually perform their a cappella group. They actually do a really cool, I guess they call it here, soulful serenade of Christmas classics at the Calico Park, right in front of the Christmas tree. They do it before the lighting of the Christmas tree, and then they come on, after the tree's lit throughout the night. They're a good group. I enjoyed, watching them last year. And they're fun to listen to. They usually perform for about 20-25 minutes or so, but definitely they are a fun group to watch. So if you hadn't had a chance to see them, and you're unable to go to the park, you can go back to mine or Theme Park Casual's streams from this past weekend and catch them, because they're really, really fun to watch, and they're a really good group.
Yeah.
The Calico Carolers, they're all around and about at Ghost Town. They're very hard to find and catch, as you heard from myself and Theme Park Casual. They are great. I love hearing the Carolers with their bells. They're just really, it kind of reminds me of, the Dapper Dans, but at the same time, it's the old Ghost Town, take on it. But the Carolers are great. Unfortunately, like we mentioned, you just got to find them wherever they're at.
Right.
If you do find them, they are great to listen to.
Yeah.
And then over at Fireman's Barbecue, you've got the Bluegrass Duo, and Danny was talking about that. I did get to see them from a distance, and they were a really good duo, and they've played there before at Knott's Merry Farm, and they're always great to catch your music sets. But they play a wide variety of classic bluegrass hits and some old favorites. So definitely take the time to go check them out when they're performing. They do have the times for all of these on the Knott's Berry Farm app, or you can go to their website to check them out. But those are some of the shows that you can catch as well. I
believe sometime starting in early December, Crazy Kirk is going to be back.
Oh, in the Hillbillies.
So they're adding.
Right.
They're still adding shows from this point. So it's just another act that you're going to have to try to go see on a trip. So So Knott's is killing it with entertainment. We got to give it to them.
But not just entertainment, but let's talk about the experiences and activities, because right here, they have a lot more than just shows. So you can check out Santa's Christmas Cabin. You can grab a photo with him. Let me tell you, this Santa Claus, he is amazing. Yesterday when I was there, I saw a little boy who was really scared of him, didn't want to get close to Santa. The Santa got down on his knees and he hugged his mom, and then after he saw that Santa was hugging his mom, he decided to give Santa a chance, which was cute. And he went over to Santa, which is really, really cool. But he did a great job playing Santa, and it was amazing when my wife showed up. went and checked them out. And the time he takes with the kids, he doesn't just, oh, all right, like get on my lap and take some photos and tell me what you want for Christmas. Here's a candy cane, out the door. He takes the time to talk to all the kids. What do you want for Christmas? How good have you been? What are you doing for the holidays? I mean, he talks to them for a long time and then says, all right, let's take some photos. Here's a candy cane, and then, send you on your way. So he's a really good Santa. I'm really happy with the way they've decorated that area. And it's amazing because that area was origins for Not Scary. Now all of a sudden it's, Santa's Christmas cabin. They changed it so quickly, which is amazing. You also have a different array of holiday treats that you can get, from regular desserts to alcohol, which is awesome. They do have Mrs. Claus Kitchen, so you can help decorate delicious cookies for a small nominal fee, and you can bring home your creations that you make with Mrs. Claus. You can head over to the Goldmine Trail, where you can find festive retreat and seasonal bites to eat, as well as see Whittles, which is awesome. And of course, you get tasty drinks and one-of-a-kind photo opportunities. So there's a lot to see and do. And I know I kind of mentioned them, but so the activities that you have Christmas Craft Village. They have all sorts of different vendors that are out there. Now, I will tell you, and I don't know if you experienced this on Saturday, Theme Park Casual, but when I was there, I was going through some of the shops, like the glass shop where they blow the glass and everything. And I was told I could not videotape or film in there. I was like, oh, really? Okay, I'll leave, no problem. And then some of the vendors actually asked me not to take any photos or videos. So, which is understandable for some of them because they do have artwork and things like that.
Right.
But they have some amazing things, everything from honey to lip balm to, teas and chais and lattes and sauces and, oh man, candles. I mean, they have so many things that you can, get from the different Christmas, crafts village. And of course, you have the Merry Farm seasonal dining options. So you have the Ghost Town Bakery to get all sorts of great treats. You got the Goldmine Trail, which you mentioned. And then you've got the Grizzly Creek Lodge. And you've got the Prop Pizza Shop Pizzeria. And then, of course, Santa's Christmas Cabin that we just talked about. And then they have all sorts of things from seasonal tamale fries to garlic truffle mayo and mushroom burger. They've got the Christmas Caesar salad, hot dog, and vegan dog. They also have the French onion beef dip tater tots. They've got the tostada ground beef and taco salad. They've got a lot of festive.
There's just so much food to try. So much food. And I didn't notice, I don't think they're doing a lanyard or anything like that. Everything's just a la carte, right?
Yeah, everything's a la carte this year. I did not see a lanyard at all or anything to punch. So that was interesting. One thing that I did notice, and I know you noticed it well because you got a table to try some treats out inside Santa's Christmas cabin, but they actually put picnic tables in there, which is great. Normally they have the barrels with tabletops on them inside. They move those outside for everyone, and they actually put some big picnic tables inside. So that was really nice to see because you could actually sit down and enjoy yourself inside Santa's Christmas cabin.
Yeah. But I cannot recommend the fry bread.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was that great. you didn't look like you were
well, it was just hilarious. I get it. I sit down and I'm all excited, and some lady just comes over and she's all, I just want to let you know that is not how it's supposed to be. She's all telling me about it. And then, she's all, I had to take mine back because I couldn't even break it. And when I told them, they couldn't even break it. And sure enough, it was like this almost a Frisbee with some ice cream on top. So
yeah, I watched your live stream and I saw you eating it, and I could tell you were not enjoying it. Of course, I think you made a few comments about that as well. So
yeah, I mean, it was the thing is I had Trish, who knows how to make the fry bread, and I was trying to ask her, is this how it's supposed to be? And what am I missing? And she was like, no, it's supposed to be like kind of have like a biscuit, like a fried biscuit texture. And I was just like, oh man. Yeah, so
Like, that's not how it was.
it's kind of a bummer, but luckily the toppings were really good. So the little like caramelized banana and ice cream and everything were fine, but yeah, it was a
But
little rough. I mean, I'm sitting there like trying to snap it in half, and it's not breaking. It's just like bending, and you're just like, okay,
get a
but
hammer.
practically, yeah. I mean, I think if it wasn't that I was on a live stream and I was trying to, we're going to tough this out and we're going to, have fun and keep going, I probably would have gone back and said, you know what, you guys need to give me my money back. This is terrible.
Yeah.
I think I joked on the stream. I was like, I got a good mind to come back and throw this through their window. So.
Well, one of the last things they have also there is Mrs. Claus's kitchen, where you can actually decorate your own cookies and
don't get me started on the cookie decorating. All right, let's just move on.
Okay, so anyhow, let's move on. Well, I think that was the last thing that we needed to cover at Knott's Berry Farm. So, is there anything else you wanted to cover, since you don't want to talk about the Christmas cookies at Mrs. Claus kitchen?
No. Other than that, everything at Knott's is, they seem to be, other than the fry bread, firing on all cylinders. They are really, really doing a great job. They knock it out of the park with Christmas time, and I can't recommend making a trip to Knott's anymore than I do already. It's fantastic. If you can get there, definitely make a trip out for Merry Farm.
Yep, I would agree. It's a great place for. Well, the great thing is that you've got Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm very close to each other. Both are great options to go check out. And again, not knocking SeaWorld or Universal, because I know that they have some things, but since we haven't experienced those, we're not going to talk about those next. I'm hoping to get down to SeaWorld for their Christmas event sometime in the next week or two. And if I do, I'll try to do a live stream if I can, so you guys can check that out as well. And then hopefully we can talk about it on the future Park Streamers Hangout, maybe the next one that we're going to have. Yeah. Jen says, nothing worse than a disappointing dessert.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we've got a couple other topics I wanted to bring up. And this one is something that I don't know about you, but oops, sorry about that. Let me cancel that message there. It's something that just, it really gripes me. So let me see if I can bring this up here. Oh, that's not it. Let me take that off. that was Mickey and Minnie's birthday. So sorry about that. Let me remove that and close that one out.
But happy birthday, Mickey.
Yes, happy
celebrated
birthday,
95 years on Saturday.
Yep. Is it right? Oh, here it is. Sorry, I had to find it real quick. I've got a lot of screens open, so let me see here. It is. There we go. It is Six Flags Magic Mountain, or not Magic Mountain, but it's Six Flags Parks, I should say. So this is from KI Central, which is Kings Island Central. It's a website, and they actually found a post from Reddit, and it says, well, this was on Reddit, seen at a open park. Looks like meals will come with a 99-cent surcharge. They said some parks are charging people with meal plans, and some parks have taken off the surcharge with meal plans. Also, if you're using a credit card, they now have a tipping line option when you sign the receipt, and this will affect all Six Flags parks. And the picture below, which I'm going to show you right now, is taken from the Reddit post, and that says Six Flags 99-cent surcharge applied due to increased labor and supply cost. Okay, so one of the things that really irked me during the pandemic was when a lot of restaurants were adding surcharges to the bill. And it looks like Six Flags is, doing the same thing here. They're adding the 99-cent surcharge, supposedly due to increased labor and supply costs. Now, the thing is, of course, when you're buying stuff from the theme parks and you're paying for whatever it costs, you are paying for labor costs and supply costs and to run the park and everything. That's what you're paying for.
Right.
But to come out and tell people that you're going to charge them a 99-cent surcharge to do this, they should have just raised the prices of everything 99 cents and no one would have batted an eye or said a thing.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I don't get. Why would you just kick the hornet's nest and do something this stupid, other than the fact that maybe it takes, too long to go and adjust every single price and whatever. And I don't know what's involved with all of that. Maybe there's something, accounting wise that makes it difficult. I don't know. But this is so horrible to do to your guests. It is the worst thing that you could do, because it just makes everybody just say, let's put it this way. I did it at SeaWorld. Because they had the surcharge, I was like, I'm not going to eat here then. And I just went the day without eating because I wasn't going to pay outrageous prices and then get hit with a 5% or whatever surcharge, because it's like, no, that's dumb. That's stupid. It just irritates your guests. And like I said, for me, I just won't eat there then. I'll wait and get, go grab a double on the way home.
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying on the forums, is that don't support them. Don't take the time to, purchase anything. Hit them in the wallet where, it's going to hurt them.
And let them know that, hey, I'm not buying because of this. This is, if you get a survey or whatever, let them know. If you have a chance, go to guest services and tell them, hey, I just want to let you know that because your little surcharge thing, we decided we weren't going to eat here today. And, because the cast member, the team members, the employees, they'll go tell their boss, hey, I'm getting people telling me that they're not going to eat because of the surcharge. You might want to tell management to take that off and just, if they, like you said, if they just raise the prices, but, everything went up, 15 cents, 25 cents, nobody would have even blinked.
Right. And let me tell you, the food is not that great.
Exactly.
I just let my, Six Flags Magic Mountain pass laps, and we, decided not to go back. The last day we were there, we had a very disappointing, food experience, not once but twice. And I can imagine having to, have this added to my bill when the costs are already kind of high and the food's terrible.
Yeah.
But if they had just said, you know what, we need to raise the prices. Knott's has been doing that. They've been raising the prices on meat products, because meat's so expensive. And a lot of people are disappointed that they have to pay more. And a lot of people blame it on, the way that inflation is. But for Six Flags to come out and say this, it just makes you not want to support them or help them out. It really just, irks you. But again, it's all in the way you communicate it, right?
Right.
If you just said, oh, I'm sorry, but we have to raise prices, inflation, fine, no problem. But, oh, you know what? We need you to help pay for our increased labor costs and supply costs, things like that. It's like, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just really
doesn't make
wrong.
sense. Yeah. It does not look good from the guest perspective. And that's the worst thing you can do.
One thing I did read in some of the forums today when I was looking through this is that someone was saying that because Six Flags is merging, with Cedar Fair, that in order to, keep up their end of the deal with the stock and the buyout and everything, they need to increase, prices by 99 cents for everything. And that really their thought was, hey, they're going to do this through 2024. And after 2024, they're going to stop doing it. But again, I think that, they made a poor choice in doing this.
Yeah. Like we said, just raise the prices of the food items and be done with it. And everybody would be like, okay, I may not like it, but I get it. This one, this just feels icky,
Yeah.
It does not look good.
Chad said, everyone wants to make more money because of inflation. It's an easy excuse for business to charge more. And that's true. But like we were saying, there's a good way of doing it. There's a bad way. And this is obviously the bad way of doing business with your customers. And again, as Vash mentioned in the chat here that, this is confirmed at Great America and Six Flags Over Georgia. So it definitely is happening. It's just unfortunate that it is happening.
Well, this is where with the merger, you really have to hope that Cedar Fair management takes over and doesn't let this kind of stuff happen anymore, because this is terrible. It's already bad enough that the new company has taken the Six Flags name, because I'll tell you, Six Flags, brand equity is in the toilet right now.
Oh, it's horrible. They got
this is just making it worse. And Cedar Fair management team had better get a handle on this, because it's not going to be good if the Six Flags brand overpowers. It's not going to be good.
And I'm hoping that that's what will happen, is that the Cedar Fair management will take over and do a better job. I am interested to see what they're going to do, because let's say the Six Flags parks are run down, a lot of them, not all of them, but many of them. But I really think that even when, if they do merge, because it hasn't been approved yet, obviously, but if they do end up merging, you're probably not going to see a lot of changes in 2024. Right. It's probably going to be not until 2025 before you start seeing any improvements or major, things happening with the park. So, but I'm hoping, like you said, that management will take over from Cedar Fair and they'll help the company out.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the other topic that a lot of people have been mentioning in the chat and wondering if we're going to cover tonight.
Yeah.
So let me bring that one up real quick. Give me a moment, everyone, to find that one, because I've got that somewhere here. And that is Disneyland guests gets injured by falling lamppost. So this is something I did not expect to hear this morning. Obviously, we heard about the strong winds here in Southern California. It's been really, really crazy. But unfortunately, early this morning, a lamppost near the flagpole in Main Street, USA, actually fell over due to the high winds, and it actually hit a few people. One person was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. The other two people were released at the scene, but they were treated for their minor injuries, according to the Anaheim Fire and Rescue. But to show you a picture, it was right here in this area in which that truck is. In fact, they had trucks blocking off the area so people can come over here. But those lampposts are pretty big. I know it's hard. In fact, I don't think we can see them here. There's one right here where the hand is on from my mouse. But it's a really thick, tall pole with a big, light globe at the end of it. So I can imagine, that thing falling over probably weighs, quite a bit. And I'm sure, unfortunately did some damage to, one of the guests. So there's not much to the story other than that. I haven't seen an update as to what happened with the person that went to the hospital. I don't know if you've seen an update regarding that person.
No, I haven't seen anything regarding the person, but from what I understand, it's and it says right there, it's used for stage lighting during the parades. So that was possibly one of the light poles with the grid of the 8 lights on it. So
yeah, you're right.
That could be, there's, and Vash Guy says that he's seeing that lights may have fallen from the post as well, multiple infrastructure failures. So, there's Disneyland is not catching any breaks lately. And it's really sad. And, unfortunately, like that, you have somebody getting hurt. It's not just, the ride broke down and now we don't get to ride Indiana Jones today. No, this is somebody going to Disneyland and ending up in the hospital. Sometimes you look at it, you go, well, the high winds, but we have it just, like I said, they're not catching any breaks, and it's really, one thing after the other. You start having to say, okay, maybe there's, an actual issue here with, something about maintenance not being, in tip-top shape. So perhaps it's time they relook at things.
Yeah, maybe they need to take the time to actually, I don't know, reevaluate, checking the equipment and all that stuff.
Yeah, there should be something going on. It's like I said, and what I think it was just the day before, I saw a report of the monorail breaking down right in front of the turnstiles.
Yeah.
That there was
Really?
just like kind of like a loud kind of clanking, banging noise, and it just ended up stopping right there. I haven't researched it to see what happened, if it had to get towed back or what happened with it. But I'm assuming it's back up and running. Otherwise, people would still be talking about it. But yeah, it stopped. Theme Park Detective had a photo or footage on his Instagram, and it's like
That's crazy.
it just keeps going, and that's why I said, maybe there's some issues there that Disney needs to kind of revamp their maintenance department a little bit, or give it a good infusion of some capital and some workforce bolstering.
Yeah, they probably need to do that. And I know that some of you are mentioning other, unfortunate issues that have happened recently at Disneyland. We're not going to talk about those tonight, but yeah, they've had a rash of safety and accidents lately, and it's been awful. So terrible. But let's talk about something that I think is really, really cool. So, as some of you know, our good friend Theme Park Casual just celebrated his birthday. And last weekend, I had the opportunity to spend it with my daughter and with Theme Park Casual, his wife and his son. And we were able to go on Walt's Main Street tour. And I thought this was amazing. I want to thank Theme Park Casuals family for letting my daughter and I tag along with you guys, because I know we were there to celebrate your birthday, but I was like a kid in a candy store, just being able to walk around and take this tour with you guys. But I think it was neat because they highlight different things that you might not know about on the Main Street, but ultimately the main attraction that day was being able to go to Walt Disney's apartment. And that's where I'm going to let Theme Park Casual take over and talk about that, because to me, that was the highlight and the amazing part of the tour.
Yeah. I mean, first off, I got to say thank you to Mrs. Casual, because, the price of these tours is not necessarily cheap. And I probably would never have paid myself to be able to take the tour. So, thank you to Mrs. Casual for just saying, you know what, we're doing it and taking care of it. So, but yeah, the tour takes you all along Main Street and gives you little facts about some of the, second story windows and some of the people behind the stories behind those windows and other little facts here and there. But the main thing you take this tour for is to be able to go into Walt's apartment. And I think both me and Bob, we were thinking, okay, so we're going to go up there. We're going to get, like maybe 10 minutes. We'll walk through it and they'll, move on and we'll finish out the tour. You are up there in the apartment for at least half an hour. It might have been even longer than that. But then you go out on the patio and you just sit, same place that, Walt used to have lunch sometimes. And you got to sit out there and just hang out for another 20, 30 minutes, just having a nice big giant sugar cookie and a drink. But walking into his apartment was absolutely surreal. And it was really cool because he opens the door and, invites people in, and Mrs. Casual says, go, go, go. And so I got to be the first one to walk through the door. So there was literally nobody in the apartment when I walked in. And it was the coolest feeling to sit there and say, it's like Walt Disney was in here. This was, and this is not like just some random place. This was his private spot. And one of the first things I did was I went over to the window that you can see from, the famous window with the lamp. And I looked out that window and I thought to myself, what was he thinking when he looked out this window? To see his greatest toy that he ever created come to life, to see all the people enjoying it, to see that, he had this idea, was able to spur so many people to follow him in this crazy thing. and then to have it become this gigantic success. What was he thinking when he would look out that window? Because it just, like I said, and what was cool was you walked in and it felt like you walked into like an antique shop. So there was that sense of age there. So they haven't renovated it and, cleaned up the place enough to where you feel like it's not really the same place as when Walt was there. It felt like as if they've almost preserved it as best they could to feel like Walt was, there yesterday, kind of thing. And I mean, I got to see things that I had never even seen, because you only see a few pictures here and there of it. And it's actually so much cozier than what the pictures show. And then you get to see the little kitchenette, and they show you all the, china and everything that he would use to serve his guests. And then they take you around to the bathroom with the shower and everything. And Walt, way ahead of his time, has 4 shower heads in that shower, which was
Crazy.
Impressive.
I was impressed big time.
Yeah. And like I said, it was just so cool to be in that space. And, the tour guide giving you stories about all the different little things that are in there, the Victorian phone and, the photos and the phonograph player and, all the different things. It was just like I said, I am so thankful that Mrs. Casual said, we're doing this, because like I said, I would have paid to do it, even though I know how cool it would have been and everything. But if you guys get a chance, I definitely recommend doing the tour. It is, if you're a Disney-phile, if you're a fan of Walt and the history of Disneyland, and you enjoy diving into that, and you understand the gravity of it, I totally recommend doing the tour.
Yeah, well, we have a picture of that moment from the tour, and this is something I'd like to share with everyone. Here is Theme Park Casual standing next to the sofa, that makes out into a bed, by the way, and the rocking chair, and next to the Christmas tree, where everyone sees this window all the time, and that's the window that Theme Park Casual was talking about, where the Christmas tree is, that Walt would look out. And I don't know how many times I've looked up into that area wondering what it looks like inside, and this is what it looks like inside. They don't allow you to take any photographs. In fact, you have to put your phone away. You're not allowed to take any photos or video whatsoever. But thankfully, part of the tour is they include the photo pass. So they came in, since it was Danny's birthday, they said, okay, we'll do you first. And they took his photo, and they took his family's photo. And then my daughter and I got to get in, and we did a whole family photo as well. And then my daughter and I got to take turns, taking pictures. And so it was great. And then they went to the other people in the group. We had about 12, I think we had 12 people in the group total that were on this tour. But most everything in this room is original. There's a few things obviously that are not, like the phone, or the Victorian phone is not the original phone that was there, but most everything was like the phonograph, and et cetera, and many of the pictures. Some of the pictures had been replaced with other pictures, but most of everything was original and amazing. And it was great just listening to the tour guide talk about what Walt did and how he did it. And as one of the stories I liked was, that his apartment building is right above the fire department, right? So there was a pole that went down from Walt Disney apartment into the fire station. And he loved to go sliding down it. But unfortunately, one day someone decided to climb up the pole, and he saw Walt Disney, and nothing happened. He went sliding back down. But after that, Walt covered up that hole and no longer slid down the pole. And he built a little stairway, which led out to a patio, which is where they took us. So like Theme Park Casual had mentioned, we were on this tour. It was supposed to be a 90-minute tour. 36 minutes into the tour, we were done with Main Street. And I was like, really? We're already done with Main Street? I mean, we're going to Walt's apartment. Is this thing ending quick? But no, we went up there. We were there for at least a good, I'd say, a half hour, maybe even 40 minutes. And then, we got another 20 minutes or so where we went out to the patio, and on the patio, they did have a some patio furniture and a table, and then they gave us these cookies. And actually, I still have one of the cookies to show all of you. So I'm going to show it to you in a moment. Let me take off Danny's photo. Give me 1 second here. So this is the cookie they pass out, and I'm going to kind of zoom in so you can see it, but it says Walt's Main Street Story. This is a sugar cookie. It's like a lemon sugar cookie that has frosting on top. It's got glitter, edible glitter, and then it's got this white chocolate with the writing on it that says Walt's Main Street Story. So it's a huge cookie, as you can see. They give you this, and then they give you your choice of a soft drink or a water bottle, and then you get to talk to the tour guide. Our tour guide, was it Russell? No, what was his name? Murray. Sorry, I'm way off. Russell, listen to me.
We're close.
Murray, yeah, I was really close.
You knew there was a T in there somewhere.
But Murray was great. He took the time to talk to us, to ask us what our magical moments in the park were. Thankfully, me and Theme Park Casual got to talk to him about what we do and with our live streams and our channels. We got to meet some other people from the UK and Germany who were on a tour with us. So it was really, really cool just being able to sit out there and have a conversation. And we didn't feel rushed. We got to just enjoy ourselves, take our time eating our cookie. I obviously did not eat my cookie. My daughter ate hers, and I tried a little bit of hers, but I've kind of saved mine. One, because I wanted to show it on the live stream, but two, also I kind of been holding off eating it. I'm going to have to eat it here eventually because I don't want it to go to waste. But also, from what Murray was saying, is that this was one of the type of cookies that I guess Walt and Lily like to eat as well. So it was a favorite of theirs. So it's neat being able to go through that whole experience. Like Theme Park Casual said, it was kind of an expensive tour, but it was fun. It was really enjoyable. It's the first time I've actually been on a tour, and I think it was yours as well.
Yeah. I've never done a tour at Disneyland.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more. Obviously, there's a cost issue with that. And I would love to be able to do live streams, but they really don't let you do live streams. And on top of that, you wear a headset that they give you so that you can actually hear the tour guide as you're walking around the busy streets of Main Street, USA. So it's not like you would be able to hear anything he was saying in the first place, even if we did do like a live stream. But it was very enjoyable, a lot of fun. I learned a lot about the park that I knew about and didn't know about. And then just being able to go to the apartment and, obviously celebrate your birthday was a highlight. So thank you for letting us tag along.
Yeah, no, it was a blast. And I gotta shout out my son, Casual Junior, because we were on, Center Street, is that what it's called? Over by the lockers. And as he's wrapping up right there, I wanted to mention the test wall with the bricks. But he started talking, and as he was walking away, I was like, I didn't get a chance. But as soon as he gets next to Casual Junior says, what about the test wall? And so he stops and lets everybody know about the test wall. And I was like, that's my boy.
Yes, that's awesome. Oh, Jen says, I'm going to eat that cookie if you don't eat it soon. I'm going to eat it, Jen. I promise I'm going to eat it. So trust me, if I don't, I know Ariel's going to eat it for me. That's for sure. So anyhow, that was a great experience. So if you haven't had a chance to definitely go on Walt's Main Street Story, definitely take the time to do that, or maybe one of the other tours. Obviously, it's something I've been wanting to do, and I think it's inspired me to try to save up some money to do that. So hopefully we can do that in the near future. We can talk about that on other streams as well. So, all right. Well, with that, what questions do you guys have for us in the chat? Any questions about what we talked about tonight? Anything that we discussed, or anything you just want to talk about? Throw it in the chat. Let us know so we can answer your questions.
Sea Flights asks question: did they give you reserved seating for the parade during this tour? No, they don't.
No.
Yeah, the tour is completely separate. Does not include any of the shows or anything like that. All you get is the tour, and the time up on the patio to kind of hang out. And you can kind of see Main Street from there, but you're behind two sets of like hedges to block the view a little bit. So there's a second level, I believe, where you could go and you can actually see better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Jen's asking when our next visit to the park is. We're going to get to that in a moment, Jen. We'll cover that. But Kaylee says, what Disney attraction could you see getting a holiday overlay?
I'm really surprised Radiator Springs Racers doesn't get overlays. It would work fairly easy because they already do all of Radiator Springs on the exterior. Just switching some stuff over on, inside the ride, you could easily get most of it to work. I mean, obviously there's the tractor tipping part that, you can't really adjust too much, but I think you could easily get that one to, you could have an overlay. And I did this on my channel. You can switch the music for the racing scene, for the racing segment, and just put, Christmas music or Halloween music or something like that. Just an easy way to kind of just add a little something to that attraction. I think that would be one that could do it.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a good one to do as well. D Spirit says, is not selling Thanksgiving dinners. Guess what? They are. And just so you know, I'm whipping up some magic here. I actually have the website. So let me share it with you real quick so you can see what they're doing. So they're doing Thanksgiving takeout dinners. You can do it. Let's see. It's complete dinners for serving up to 6 to 8 people. Pickup times are November 22nd from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and November 23rd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then there'll be time slots, they're limited and they can sell out. So you want to do this as soon as possible. But the dinner menu includes a 12 to 14 pound roasted turkey or an 8 to 10 pound glazed ham. You get 3 sides of country apple stuffing, 3 sides of mashed potatoes, 3 sides of candy yams, 2 sides of green beans almondine, 2 sides of whole kernel corn, 8 ounces of cranberry sauce, 8 ounces of bread and butter pickles. Oh, my daughter would love that. 1 dozen dinner rolls, 1 quart of country gravy, butter, and a 4-ounce jar of boysenberry preserves, and your choice of boysenberry pie or pumpkin pie. Sold out. Look at that.
There you go.
Bummer. So sorry. No,
waited too long.
I tested your test or I salivated your taste buds there, but it sold out. So sorry about that. So yes, they do have it, but I think you're going to have to take advantage of it sooner next year. So good question though, D Spirit. All right. Oops. Let me remove that.
Yeah. Everybody can hear my cat screaming at me that she wants her final meal of the day.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. All for the low price of, sorry, Manny, don't know because they're sold out. Let's see. I don't see any other questions. All right. So Theme Park Casual, when can we see you streaming next?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to the parks on Wednesday, but I don't know what time I might be streaming. It depends on whether Casual Junior wants to do a rope drop, and then Mrs. Casual will meet us out there later, or if we all go out together, I might just do a short stream and then spend some time with the family before Thanksgiving. But I'd say Wednesday I'll be streaming at some point. Might be a short stream, might be an early stream. Who knows? We shall see. Might be a late stream and Mrs. Casual takes off, a little early to go get some rest before Thanksgiving. And we just end the night with a live stream. Who knows? But that's part of the fun, right?
Yep, exactly. So I will be streaming on Wednesday as well at Disneyland with my daughter. So I hope all of you will take the time to come join us as well. I'm not sure about the time as well. I'm working that out right now, but I will be sending out probably by tomorrow. I'll be sending out the actual notifications through YouTube. So if you subscribe to my channel and Theme Park Casuals channel, and you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified as soon as we set up our live streams and when we're going to go live, so you'll know. But we will be streaming on Wednesday as well. I'm hoping, I'm not sure because I got to talk to the missus myself, but we may be going to SeaWorld Friday or Saturday. If we do, I will let you guys know. I do have a reservation for Saturday at Disneyland, but I'm not sure if I'm going yet because I got to talk to the missus about what we're doing, what our plans are. So if I can, I may be at Disneyland again on Saturday if we don't go to SeaWorld. So we'll see. But we will
I do want to
know.
take one quick second and say thank you to several people. Some of you are in the chat. One of you is right here joining me on the live stream. On Saturday, I did my first ever charity stream from Knott's Berry Farm. And thanks to Bob, Berry Place 28, SoCal Sports, Manny, Trish, Good Vibes, LBC, Kiki and Luca. I hope I didn't forget anybody, but we raised over $220 for Operation Christmas Child. So thank you so much, everybody. That is, like I said on the stream, blew me away. I was hoping for maybe $50, but you guys smashed past that. And like I said, we went over $220. And I just want to say thank you to you guys again. You guys have been so supportive, and you're helping to pass the blessings on to other people, people who could really use a little bit of help. So again, from all of us at Theme Park Casual, me, Mrs. Casual Jr., we just say thank you so much.
Yeah, everyone donated to a great cause, and it's great that everyone's able to try to give during the holidays. So thank you so much for doing that, and for many of you who are probably doing other charities and donations. Thank you for your kind, heartful self, and I appreciate everything you guys do. I know that Danny and I appreciate everything on our channels, and you guys give us great support. But when you take the time to donate to great causes like these, it doesn't just help some people, it helps a lot of people. So thank you.
Right.
All right. So with that, where can we find you, Theme Park Casual?
You can find me on YouTube, on Twitter, and Instagram. All of them at Theme Park Casual. And I hope to see you guys in the chats more. Like I said, I think I may be doing another charity stream. I want to do one from Disneyland as well, but I'm not sure when. I need to find a good day for that. But hopefully, we'll be doing more fundraising as well. Give you guys another chance to impress me with how incredibly generous you all are.
Yeah. And you can find me, Berry Place 28, on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and please come join me and Theme Park Casual on our next streams. With that, just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us again tonight. Thanks for joining our really big show, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Park Streamers Hangout. Take care, everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you real soon. All right. Bye.
See you, kids.
As